welcome everyone to our Grow with GoGo Fitness series. This is an event that we're throwing every Thursday, and we're alternating between yoga and strength training. Today's is strength training. So we're so happy that you could be here and spend a little bit of your week with us. You, of course, found GoGo because you might have needed one of these things. So by just calling our phone number, GoGo can connect you to rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, home services. And now with these events, we're also trying to create some new programming that's exciting and that focuses on your overall health and wellness. And we hope you like these. We always put out a survey. We drop it in the chat. And we also put the link in our emails to you. So we welcome your feedback about how to improve these. My name's Cassie. I'm GoGo's communications director. I'm also joined by a teammate on this call, V. She's behind the scenes and she's often chatting and putting links in there. So just want you to know that's another GoGo team member. And we're always really grateful to be joined by Adra. She leads these sessions weekly, and she's our yoga teacher, occupational therapist, very calming presence. So we're so happy that she's here, and we're ready to kick things off.
All right, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see lots of familiar faces, maybe one or two new ones. So welcome to class. So today's our strength training class. All you need is a chair, maybe some wall space, possibly for balance, and then you can have a pair of weights. So I have a pair of 4-pound weights there. You can get anywhere from 1 to 4 pounds. If you don't have weights, you don't need to use weights. You can just use your arm movements or grab a water bottle or some cans, and that will work just fine. Before we get started, does anyone remember our strength training move of the week? So this wasn't last week, but the week before that, if you were here, what was the move that I said, oh, you should do this the rest of the week? It's okay if you don't remember. I have to write it down so that I remember. I'll give everyone another second. It wasn't really a strength move necessarily. It was reaching your arms overhead and then lifting up onto your tippy toes while you reach your arms overhead. So working those calf muscles and working those arm movement muscles. And then I was suggesting that you do that every time you walk through a doorway, because we spend so much time with our arms by our side. It's great to reach those arms up. Anyways, well, good. I'm glad I'm seeing a few more people sign in, but let's get started. Let's move. Let's start standing. Let me take off my socks so I don't slip. All right, standing, taking your feet maybe pelvis width apart, relaxing those shoulders, relaxing the jaw. And let's do some shoulder rolls forward, big shoulder rolls, just waking up those shoulders. So we want to make sure we warm up before we add any strengthening moves. And shoulder rolls go the other way. Then relaxing your shoulders and go ahead and bend side to side. So stretching out the side body. You're welcome to keep your arms down alongside the body, or if you want, you can reach one arm overhead as you go and then alternate. So if you're stretching that left side of the body, that left arm is going to reach. And then if you're stretching the right side of the body, the right arm is going to reach. And making your way back to center. Take your arms into a cactus position. So you're bending your elbows, sort of goalpost. Bend those knees. You're going to keep your lower body stable, so try not to move your lower body. Twist just your upper body. So rotate that spine. And then making your way back to center, releasing those arms. We'll inhale, lift the chest, reach the arms back so you're stretching the front of the body. And then exhale, round your back and give yourself a hug. Wrap your arms around your body, tuck your pelvis, drop your chin. So inhale as you open up the arms and reach the tail back, lift the chest, and then exhale, round your back, wrap your arms around your body, giving yourself a hug. So just warming up that spine, warming up the back. A couple more times. All right, and then go ahead and release, relax those arms. Just shake out your arms and legs. Just shake it off. All right, we're going to make use of our chair. So if you have your weights on your chair, you will have to move them. Just be mindful of how you move your body if you're shifting things around. Going to sit at the edge of our chair, so towards the front edge of the chair. So we're still in our kind of warm-up mode here. Make sure you have plenty of room behind you so that you're not using the backrest of your chair. I'm sideways, you can stay facing forward so you can see me easily. So once you're seated, go ahead and check out your feet. Let your feet be about 6 inches apart, give or take. We'll do some heel raises here. So just warming up those ankles. You'll lift one heel and then the other, alternating here. Just 2 or 3 more times. And then releasing those heels. Go ahead and cross your arms in front of your body. So you're sort of making an X in front of your body. Again, making sure you have plenty of room behind you. We're going to do a sit-up variation. For the sit-up variation, I want your spine to stay really long. So there's no movement in the torso. The hinge is going to happen, or the movement's going to happen from where your pelvis is on your thighs. So we'll inhale, lean back. So see that you're flat as a board. Nothing is moving in your torso. It's just all moving back. And then exhale, sit up, using those core muscles, using those abs. So warming up the abdominals. So inhale as you lean back, nice flat back. Exhale, sit up. So the further you go, the harder it will be. Just watch that you're not moving that spine. So the spine stays still the whole time. Just a reminder for the breath that inhale is on the way back. Exhale as you come up. The reasoning for our breath is when we exhale, our core muscles engage a little more easily. And so we're just making it a little more functional, a little easier for our body to come up. If we exhale on our sit-up, inhale on the way back. Couple more times. Great. Next time you're up, go ahead and pause, relax your arms, and let's take some gentle head circles. Just starting slow this class. A couple head circles one way, and then a couple head circles the other way. So before we add any weight, we're going to talk about our squat. We did a lot of squatting last time. We're going to do that again. So we're going to play with different variations of squats. So we'll start with bringing our heels back. So our heels are behind the knees. So instead of your shins being perpendicular to the ground or you having a 90-degree angle, you're bending the knees more. So the heels are closer to your booty. Knees are tracking straight forward. If you can, your feet are parallel. Let's stick with a relatively narrow stance. So maybe like 2 fist distance between your feet. From there, lean forward, nice flat back, and pause. Push down into the feet. Notice where your weight is on your feet and see if you can lift your hips half an inch off the chair and then come back down. So this is a really quad-centric or front of the thigh-centric sort of squat. We'll do that again, leaning forward, pushing down into the feet, lifting your hips, and then back down. So do that a few times. Is at your own pace, finding a little lift and then lower down. If that feels okay, we're coming all the way up to stand with this variation of squat. If you need to, hands push down into the thighs to come all the way up and then back down. If you don't need your hands, arms could reach forward to come up and back down. So a couple more of this variation of squat. All right, next time you're sitting, go ahead and pause. Release the arms. Now we're going to do a squat where the weight is going to move to our glutes more. So less quad, less front of the thigh, more back of the hip. We're going to scoot your feet forward just a little bit so that those knees are right above the ankles. This is much harder for most of us because we spend so much of our time forward. So don't stress out if this feels really challenging. So your heels are underneath your knees. You're going to lean forward. I find it's very helpful to lean very far forward. So as far forward as you can, reach those arms forward and then lift your hips a little bit off the ground and then back down. You can also use your hands on your thighs if that helps. So keep going here. So now it's a lot more work in the backs of the legs when your knees are over your ankles because more weight is back in those heels. A few more times. If this feels impossible, just do your best. Play with this position, see what you can do. If this feels okay, then you'll come all the way up to stand and back down. If that's not working, stick with just the small lifts, right? You don't have to go any further than these little lifts. And notice if you're starting to do these full squats, are you moving your feet? Are you starting to scoot your feet back? Or are you able to keep those knees just above the ankles and not over the toes? So are those shins parallel the whole time? Or sorry, perpendicular to the earth the whole time? Let's notice. Let's do a few more. All right, and the next time you're down, go ahead and come down. Shake out those legs. A few more things to warm up these legs in our seat. Sitting tall, we'll straighten out our right leg or one of your legs, whichever one you want. And just by straightening out that leg, you'll probably feel the front of the thigh working. And then bend that knee, lower the foot. Other side, straighten out the left leg. Feel the front of the thigh working. And release. Let's do that again. Straighten out that right leg. And then this time we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If this is too easy, you're probably sitting too far back in your chair. Make sure it's just your glutes on your chair and not your thigh. Other leg, straighten out that left leg. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, adding on, we're straightening out that right leg. Little pulses up 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the foot. Straighten out the other leg. Little pulses up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bringing that down. One more time each side. Straighten the right leg. Pulses up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it down. Other leg straightening out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. Shake it off. Okay, we're coming to stand for some standing squats or regular squats. If you want to grab your weights, you're welcome to do that. Just be mindful about how you pick things up so you're not rounding your back and really bending your knees to pick things up. Or sometimes it helps to have your weights on a table. So again, light weights, nothing super heavy unless you're used to doing a lot of weights. You can grab cans, water bottles, whatever you have. Let's now go a little bit wider. So earlier we were doing a pretty narrow squat on our chair. Let's go wide. Let's go about shoulder width. And allow your toes to be slightly turned out, heels slightly in. Arms can be down alongside the body or in front of the body. You decide what works for you in these squats. We'll inhale, bend those knees, hips go back, your spine is long. Exhale, come up to stand. So inhale as you bend, hips go back. Exhale as you come up. Keep going. Following your breath. So you inhale down, exhale up. Three more. The next time you're standing tall, pause. And then we're going down and holding. So if you need to adjust your stance, that's fine. You can adjust. We're going to bend those knees and hold your squat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. Shake it off. Woo. All right, let's give our thighs a little break and we'll move to our arms. So again, light weights here or no weights is totally fine. Let your spine be nice and long here. So even weight on your feet, you're not rounding the back, you're not lifting the chest. Everything's nice and stable in the core. We'll bend those elbows for some bicep curls. Hands come towards the shoulders and then lower the arms down with control. Keep going. Watching that. You lower with control, so we don't want to just plop down. We don't want the weights to take over. You're going to control yourself here. If this is feeling easy and you don't have heavier weights, you might imagine that you're moving through something really sticky. You're moving through peanut butter, you're moving through honey, you're moving through water, something to give you resistance. A couple more times. Watch that those elbows don't move. So the elbows are still, yes, they're bending and straightening, but they're not moving forward and back at all. But they're staying in that same position. So if I were holding on to your elbows, they wouldn't move back, they wouldn't move forward, they would just bend and straighten. Let's do 2 or 3 more. Great, and the next time your arms are down, pause, take a little break. If you need to at any point to put down the weights, you can do that. We're going back to our squats, those wide squats. So taking those feet about as wide as the shoulders, maybe even a little wider. You can decide the angle of the feet. We'll do 10 squats. Inhale as you bend. And then exhale as you lift up. Keep going. I'm going to count an approximate 10. Some of us might be doing fewer. Some of us might do more. Couple more. All right, next time you're up, pause, take those feet back towards each other. We're doing a second set of our biceps. Palms face forward, bend and straighten those elbows. We're probably going to do more than 10 here. Again, you can imagine that you're moving through something sticky and go through your entire range of motion. So you're straightening all the way and bending all the way. All right, let's do 2 more. Next time your arms are down, relax. Okay, we're going into another set of another pair. So there we just did some wider squats and bicep curls. Now we're going to do narrow squats and then hammer curls. So we're still focusing on those same muscles. So feet are now a little more narrow. So if you went shoulder width, I would say pelvis width. Feet are parallel if possible. We'll inhale, bend the knees, lower the body down. Slow as is comfortable. Exhale, come to stand. So this should feel a little bit different than what you were doing before. We're just doing 10. Okay, next time you're up, pause. Okay, last thing for the biceps, but it's a little different. So earlier we were doing palms forward. This time, thumbs are forward. So it's like your thumbs are facing this way. So when you bend, thumb is moving towards the shoulder. So palms are facing each other instead of forward towards me. These are called hammer curls. So you could imagine you have a hammer in your hands and you're hammering something. So the palms face each other instead of facing forward. So it's a little different. And then we'll give our biceps a break, I promise. Let's do 4 more or so. Okay, and then release. Put your weights off to the side, maybe on your chair, on your table. Relax those arms, shake them out, shake out the legs. We're doing some shoulder squeezes to prepare for some back strengthening. So you'll squeeze the shoulder blades together and back, and then release. It's a pretty small movement. You're trying not to move the spine, you're just moving the shoulders back, and then releasing. Squeeze and release. It's like there's a pencil between your shoulder blades or a pencil at your spine, and you're trying to squeeze it with your shoulder blades and then let it go. Okay, let's add on. Now, arms come forward. We inhale. Just straight in front of you. Exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Elbows go back behind you. We inhale, stretch those arms forward. And then exhale, bend, squeeze the shoulder blades together as your elbows go back. Inhale as you extend forward. Exhale as you bend. Keep going. Trying to look for some heat around the shoulders, into the upper back area. See if you can keep your spine and your torso still as you do this. Can it just be shoulder blade movement around the spine? All right, let's let that go. And now we're going to translate that to our chair and our weights. So you just need one weight. You're going to find your chair. If you don't have a chair, you could use the wall, not ideal. You could also place your hand on a table. So you have options. Let's go with the left arm first. You're gonna grab your weight with your left arm. Your right foot is going to be quite close to the chair. The left foot's going to step back a little bit. Then we're going to lean forward and place the hand, your free hand on the chair. Now, if the chair is too low, this is where a table might be helpful. You can use the back of the chair. You could also use a wall. So if the wall was in front of me, I'd place my hand on the wall and lean forward there. So the chair's for support. So if it's not supporting you, you want to go somewhere else. The spine is nice and long. Now I'm going to repeat all of our positions. The weight is in your left hand. Your right foot is in front. Your left foot is slightly back. This is just so we have a nice wide base of support. Your right hand is on your chair or on a table or on the wall for support. Left arm is dangling. We'll exhale, bend your left elbow and squeeze your shoulder blade towards the spine and then release your left arm down. Exhale, bend the elbow, squeeze the shoulder, and then relax. Keep going. Follow your breath. Two more. Great. And then put the weight down. Lift yourself up. Shake it off. So we'll do that all on our second side. So weight goes into your right hand. Left foot is in front, right leg is back. And just gives you a little more support. Left hand finds your chair or your table. Right arm is dangling. Your spine is long, or as long as you possibly can make it. We exhale, bend that right elbow, pull the elbow up towards the sky, squeeze the shoulder blade so that bone on your back is moving towards your spine, and then straighten out the arm. Exhale as you bend. Inhale as you straighten. Keep going. Two more. And then when you're done, put your weight down, lift up, shake it off. Okay, we're doing a second set, but a variation. So we're going to add on to what we just did. I'll explain it and then we can do it together. So we'll do that same bend of the elbow, and then we're going to straighten the arm back behind us for a tricep extension. Now that might be really hard with the weights. So if you find that you can't do it with the weights, that's okay. I'll talk you through it though. So go ahead, we'll go to our left hand again. So holding on to your weight or not with your left hand. Right foot is in front, left foot steps back. Right hand finds the chair for support or your table for support. Your spine is long, the back of the neck is long. That left arm is dangling. From there, we bend the left elbow, elbow reaches towards the sky, and then we straighten the left arm back behind us. So the pinky is trying to reach towards the ceiling. And then we bend the left elbow and straighten the arm. So I'll say that again. We bend the left elbow, squeeze the shoulder blade towards the spine, elbows towards the sky, straighten the left arm so the pinky reaches up. Your arm is higher than your torso if possible. And then we bend the elbow, release the arm. Keep going. And again, this is hard on the triceps. Our shoulder muscles are much stronger than these muscles that straighten the elbow. So if you find you can't do this with weights, that's okay. Put the weights down, do it without. Let's do two more. Great. Put that weight down when you're done. Come up, shake it off. Give yourself a break. You can do a little twisting, whatever feels good. And then we'll do that on our second side. And then we'll give our shoulders a break, our arms a break. So right hand has the weight or not. Left hand in front, right foot back. We'll bring the left hand to the chair. Right arm is down. We bend the right elbow, squeeze the shoulder blade towards the spine, and then straighten your right arm back behind you. So the arm is higher than your torso, the pinky reaches towards the ceiling. Then we bend the elbow, release the arm. Again, that's bending the elbow, squeeze the shoulder blade, straighten the arm back behind you, and then rebend and release. Keep going. Again, no stress. if you can't do this with a weight. So if you need to do it without, that's totally fine. Better to have good form and no weight than to have weight and bad form. Right? We don't want to get injured. We want to make sure that we move through our full range as best as we can. A couple more times. One more. And then go ahead and release the weight, come up, shake it off. Okay, let's move into our legs. Let's move the weights off of the chair. So if you have your weights on your chair, make sure they're somewhere else that you can safely get to later. We're going into first a no load lunge on our chair. So this is much easier on a chair without armrests. If you don't have armrests, I'll show you the other variation, but we'll start with this one. So sitting in the chair, you'll turn to one side so that only one thigh is on the chair. The other thigh is free. That free thigh is going to go straight back behind you so that we're in a lunge on your chair. This gives you a nice stretch into that quad and hip flexor, so the front of that left thigh, or that thigh that's, sorry, the thigh that's behind you. That's the thigh that's going to get a stretch. You can do this in a chair. If you don't need a chair or you don't have a chair without armrests, you just hold on to something, wall, chair, one foot forward, one leg back, and then bend both knees. Right, so that's your other option. You have the two options, either with the chair or without. We're just gonna hold here for a little bit so that we can really stretch out the thigh. Let's say about 6 more deep breaths here. So either in your lunge with the chair or without it. Right. And then release. If you're sitting in the chair, you're just gonna turn around, face the other way. So now the other thigh's on the chair, one leg goes back. The leg's going directly back behind you. That thigh, that back thigh is perpendicular to the earth. And again, you can do this without a chair. So you just come off the chair, find something for balance if needed, and then bend both knees. We're looking for a stretch here because we're going to do some lunges in a moment. We just want to make sure our legs are warm for the lunges, ready for it. Five more breaths. All right, and then coming up off of your chair, away from that stretch. So we want something for balance if needed. So I'm going to place my chair on the right side of my body. You could also have the wall on one side of your body. So if the chair's on the right side, so I'm not mirroring here, that right hand is on the chair. You'll step your left foot forward and your right leg back. I'll show you a side view. Holding onto the chair with the right hand. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. All 10 toes are facing forward. My feet are about 2 feet apart. From here, we're adding some lunges. No weight. I don't think we really need weight for this. They're hard enough as they are. We inhale, bend both knees. Your body's moving like an elevator, straight down. And then exhale, straighten out both legs. Inhale as you bend. Exhale as you straighten. It's up to you how low you go. Keep going. I'm seeing all of you. You're doing awesome. Let's do 2 more. Great, next time you're up, pause, we'll switch sides. So stepping forward with your back foot and then turning around if you're doing just one hand on the chair. Otherwise, you're fine. So this time, right leg is in front, left leg is back. Right leg in front, left leg back this time. Or just make sure you've switched. We often have a favorite side, so make sure you don't just stick to your favorite side and do it twice. Left hand on the chair, or you can do both hands if you need. Right leg is in front, left leg is behind. We bend down like an elevator, so your torso staying straight up and down, and then we straighten. So it's just those legs, and it's up to you how low you go. It doesn't matter. Move at your pace and at your level. Just make sure you're being safe with your body. Let's do about 3 more, give or take. Great. Next time you're up, you can step forward and shake it off. We're going to continue to use our chair for balance. I'm bringing the chair in front of me. You can choose to do that. You can also choose to go to a wall or a table. Hands on the chair. It shifts into one foot. You'll lift your other foot off the ground and behind you. So here we're doing 2 things at once. We're balancing on our standing leg or working that standing leg. But as you bend your free leg back behind you, see if you can engage the back of the thigh by reaching that heel towards your glutes. So you're trying to bend that knee so much that the heel touches your glutes without shifting anything else in the body. So it's just that movement of the knee moving the heel towards your glutes. And that will work your hamstring muscles or the muscles of the back of the thigh. Let's hold for 2 more breaths. And release. Switching sides, standing on the other foot. We bend our free legs. Just make sure you're switching sides, free leg bends. Watch that there's no movement in the pelvis here. That bending of the knee is happening just at the knee and nowhere else, not at the spine, not at your pelvis. And that heel is trying really hard to reach your glutes. So you're trying to bend your knee as hard as you can without hurting yourself to reach the glutes. And then you'll be activating your hamstrings or the back of the thigh to make that happen. And then release. Let's do that again. One more time each side. Standing on one leg, bending your free leg. Leg goes behind you. Your heel is trying to reach towards your glutes. You're working those hamstrings. Only that knee moving. Well, your foot and lower leg are moving, but it's the knee making that movement happen. And release. Last time, standing on one foot, bending your free leg. Heel goes towards the glutes. You're using those hamstrings to try and make that happen. Notice what other parts of the body want to. So oftentimes what we'll do, I'm exaggerating here, is arch the back to bring the foot up. But what happens if you don't let your back move? Then those hamstring muscles, the backs of the thigh muscles have to work. Okay, release. Shake it off. Keep holding onto your chair. Walk your feet back, making an upside down L position. Bringing your torso parallel-ish to the earth. We're stretching out the backs of the legs. We're stretching out our shoulders. We're stretching our spine. Nice deep breaths here. All right, walking your feet forward. We're going to finish up with some heel raises and then a short calming cool down. So hands on your chair. We're lifting up onto our tippy toes. Heels come high and back down. Watch or pay attention to what your feet are doing when you do these heel raises. Does your weight shift to the outer parts of the feet, the inner parts? Can you sense into, so even if you can't see, can you sense into what your ankles are doing? What I often see is that the heels start to splay out to the side or away from the center of the body. Can you keep those heels in? Almost like you're holding a ball between your ankles and you don't want to lose that ball. Let's do a couple more. Great. And then go ahead and let that go. And we'll finish up with a little bit of breathing, a little cool down. You're welcome to do this seated. You're also welcome to stay standing if you prefer. Finding a space, a place where you can rest just a little bit. Maybe close your eyes or let your gaze move down to the ground. Feel length in the back of the body, back of the neck, back of the spine. Ease in the shoulders and the jaw. So letting go of necessary tension. Take a moment to notice your breathing. Sensing where you feel the breath in your body today. And then take a moment to check in with your body. How does it feel after moving around? Are there parts that feel energized? Parts that feel fatigued? There's no right or wrong, just having that awareness, noticing what are the effects of this movement practice. And then take a deep inhale, fill your lungs completely. Exhale out the mouth, let it go. One more time, deep inhale, fill your lungs. And exhale, let it go. Blink open those eyes if they're closed. Thank you, everybody. It's so wonderful to see you as always. I would love to chat for a couple of minutes. Before we start chatting though, our move of this week is bicep curls. We did a lot of those today. So those are those curls where we bring our arms up. So if you can maybe sneak these in a couple of times this week, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear about it. But I want to open it up. What were your favorite moves today? What moves felt good? What moves maybe felt challenging? I'd love to hear from you. All right, we can always adjust things based on your feedback. So I always like to know what feels good, what doesn't, or what's hard, right? Hard is great too. Well, I'll share. The tricep extensions that we did are the hardest for me. The ones where we do this and straighten out arm. Ooh, those burn me the most. I think those are the most challenging for me. I'm all ears if anyone wants to share their favorite or least favorite move. And if not, that's okay too. Oh, I think somebody maybe unmuted themselves to chat.
Audra.
Yeah?
Audra. It's Irene here, honey. And I got in late, but I wanted to get something from you. I've had a bad fall yesterday. I didn't break anything, I know, but I would love to have you do some balance exercises for me. And I don't know if anybody else has fallen, but if you have, or please don't. I just missed a step and it was on asphalt. So I hate to even have you look at me because I have a black eye.
Oh, Irene, I'm so sorry
I-
to hear that.
yeah, so, but I appreciate you so much. I really like the class and everything in it. So Thanks. And I did get my weights here, so I was using them. Thanks again for everything.
Thanks, Irene. Yeah. Well, you know what? We did do some balance today, and I'll be sure that we slip in some more balance next time. Balance is great for everybody, no matter what age, no matter whether you've had a fall or not. Balance is so, so important. So I would love for us to maybe add a little more of that next time, just to keep everyone as safe as possible. But I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you didn't break anything.
Yes, I am too. I went to ER, and I was so scared because I thought for sure it was an asphalt, is bad. So anyhow, I did all the right things, and feel I need to be more mindful and watch where I'm putting my foot, because I thought I was putting it in a safe way, and there was a lip, and the lip is what caught my foot, and I went over. So thank you so much for all you give.
Thanks, Irene. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. No
Did anyone
close-ups,
else?
please. Looks like I was beat up.
We can't see it from here. At
Good.
least I can't.
I'm glad. Okay. I didn't
Yeah, you
want to
look
scare
great from
anybody.
you look great from here, Irene.
Yeah. Thank you
Um,
so much again.
does anyone else have anything they want to share? You could write it in the chat if you're feeling a little shy to go on mute, but either way. Has anybody been telling their friends or family members that they've started a workout routine lately? Well, I have been telling people that I've been joining this every Thursday. Yeah.
It's one of actually the best ways to stick to working out is doing it with a friend, or telling a friend, so that then they ask you, oh, how did your workout go? And then if you didn't go, you'll have the sense of, oh, I should have gone. Or when they ask you, you've been saying, oh, I'm getting so much stronger. So it is really nice to share with your friends, either for them to join you or at least to keep you accountable.
That's cool. I have heard that too, Adria, the accountability thing. The more people know, the more maybe like a little bit of pressure you've now established, like you're going to keep it up.
Exactly.
Well, I appreciate everyone who's joined today. If you want to keep these kind of conversations going, you can check out our Facebook group. We have the link right in the chat right now in your Zoom chat. And we hope to see you there, and we hope to continue to see you at these events on Thursdays. So thank you everyone for joining, and we'll catch you next week.